Alright, so this is Catch22, right? And I'm gonna make this quick video talking about the difference between actuality and reality. Now, probably wondering, why are you talking about this? You make music. Name is Catch22 for a reason, right? So, check this out. Actuality and reality. Now, the only way you can possibly explain the difference between actuality and reality is by using a scenario analogy. So here's an analogy, right? Here's a scene. Because I'm from actuality. Everybody else outside of me, 100% of everybody else is from reality. I am from actuality. Since I am from actuality, it only makes sense that I explain this shit. Whoa. Because fuck it, why not, right? Fuck it, right? Because it makes sense. Because I could explain it. I might as well explain it because I could explain it, right? So let me just put it out here so I don't have to speak about that shit later just on the internet. Just leave it on the internet. Makes sense, doesn't it? Alright, now look. So now, I'm from actuality. Other people from reality. Now, let's say you buy a video game, right? And the video game comes with an instruction manual. Now, the video game says that when you complete the video game in full, you will receive a knock on your door and you will receive $1 million in cash. $1 million in cash from 2 men in black suits. Give you $1 million because you beat the game. Now, when you buy the game, right? The game comes with 2 parallel storyline of events that you have to complete in order to beat the game in full. So you have to play 2 different parallel course of events in order to beat the game. Now, these 2 different parallel course of events, both each have 100 stages, 100 levels, right? Now, here's the catch-22. Because here's going to be the difference between actuality and reality. If you choose to play the non-original course of events first, at the 100th level, the last level of that unoriginal parallel course of the storyline, your character will not know that there is another parallel course of events to fulfill in order to beat the game. Exactly. They will not know that. Your character that you use to play the game will receive a fake prize, a fake reward, a fake fulfilling, a fake feeling, a fake accomplishment at the 100th level of the unoriginal course of events that you chose to play first. You chose to play first. That is going to be that character's reality. Because the game said in instructions, if you choose to play out the unoriginal course of events first, your character at the end of the game will not know that there is a secondary parallel universe to fulfill out the stages in order for you to receive that $1 million knock at your door. So now when you choose and you make the wrong, if you make the wrong decision and you decide that you are going to play one parallel course of events first, and it just so happens to be the unoriginal course of events to the storyline, to the overall storyline of the game, the main theme of the game, then your character is not going to know, he's not going to be conscious, he's not going to be cognitive that there's even a second parallel universal course of events to play. So now your character isn't living in reality. That's the reality of your character. That's your reality. Now, the person, your next door neighbor who bought the game, who just so happened to choose the original parallel course of events, at the 100th level, they turned around and then they experienced the unoriginal, the artificial course of events at a much quicker and more efficient way of completion, because they originally chose the right course of events to play, the original course of events. So now at the level of 100, the last level, they didn't get any prize. They just got the awareness that they started with from the beginning of the game. So from the beginning of the game, they started with knowing, if I beat both parallel universal stipulations, then guess what? I get $1 million knock at the door with $1 million prize. So now, when you get to that level 100 and you turn back to experience the artificial parallel course of events, and you complete that course of events much more efficiently than you completed the original course of events, because now you have a reference to what's similar and what's not similar, what's supposed to be there, what's not supposed to be there, what's reversed and what's not reversed, what's the same, what's not the same. So now that your neighbor is actually living in actuality. The character that your neighbor used to complete both parallel courses of events, that character is from actuality. So when your neighbor played the game and he chose the right original course of events to play first, and then at the 100th level unlocked the consciousness to knowing that there's a parallel universal course of events that they need to play in order to get the $1 million knock at the door. Once that was completed, your next door neighbor got a knock at the door from 2 Men in Black, and he got $1 million. So in all actuality, the character that he used to play that game was from actuality. It's the same fucking game, same map, same characters, same programs. Nothing is not a fucking different variation of one game. It's the same game. But the point is, the character that your neighbor used was from actuality, and the character that you used, if you chose to if you chose to start at the unoriginal parallel course of events, your character's from reality. So that just shows everything that happens in actuality, right, is not from everything that happens in reality. And everything that happens in reality never really happened at all. It just never happened. It was never actuality. In actuality, your neighbor got the knock on the door, he got $1 million because he beat 2 parallel universal course of events from one video game. And you only beat one, believing that you beat the entire game because of the fake reward and artificial prize that you got at the end of the level 100. Now you did 1 to 100. This is level 1 to level 100. But it was the wrong parallel course of events. It wasn't the original course of events. It was the artificial course of events. It was the reversal course of events. So now your character really believed that they completed 1 to 100 and beat the game. Your character's reality is set. You're set in reality. Because you didn't study, you didn't read books, you didn't take no psychedelics, you didn't look at yourself like you was a part of nature. You didn't look at yourself like you was one with nature. You didn't look at yourself like you was a part of the all that there is to know. Nature, nature, right? Nature. That's the point. That's the point I'm making. Actuality and reality, there's a difference. A lot of people are not going to know how to explain the difference. A lot of people are not even going to know how to distinguish actuality and reality. Some people will go through life and never experience actuality. Actuality is a whole domain that exists right above reality. Nothing to be scary about. You just have to be precise. You have to be precise with your shit. Your next door neighbor who got the $1 million knock from the 2 Men in Black, guess what? He got the knock because he sustained his conscientious awareness throughout the entire game, because he chose the original storyline course of events that ascertained and pertained to what the instructions said. If you complete, or when you complete both storylines from the parallel universes, you'll get $1 million knock at your door, only if you start off the game fulfilling the original parallel universal storyline of events first. So now you gotta choose between the two. You gotta choose, you have to read each storyline and choose between the two. Which storyline sounds more original? Which storyline is the authentic storyline? How would you know? How would you know if you didn't study life? How would you know if you did not study life? It's Catch22 from Actuality. To all of those who are still living in realities, don't think I can't fuck with y'all. Don't think I can't fuck with y'all. Don't think I'm too good for y'all. Catch22 is not too good for y'all. Okay? Catch.